Miami Heat, Miami Heat, Miami Heat. It feels like Miami.
Welcome to the Miami Heat Beat podcast. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas, and with me today, we have Franky G. Hi, Franky.
What up, G?
How are we doing? How are we feeling on this beautiful Wednesday?
I'm happy it's Wednesday.
Happy it's Wednesday. Not yet Friday, but happy it's Wednesday. Also joining us today, welcome back home, Alex Toledo of 5 Region Sports, 5 on the floor.
Yes, sir. It's good to be back, man.
How we feeling, dog?
I'm all right, man. Got a break out of the Honest Eye sweatshop, so here we are.
Oh, that's right. You're doing stuff for Sports Illustrated. It's so funny. Alex sends. I read one a week. I'm
surprised you even read them, so I appreciate that, man.
I do it. Sometimes I click and I leave it open and then I close it just so you get the click because I'm a good friend.
That's amazing.
But Alex, the only correspondence I have with Alex is his daily sending his SI article to the group chat.
Yeah. I'm shameless, I guess. I got to stop that.
Hey, listen, you learn from the best. You learn from Ethan Skolnick. My
I don't
goat.
even send all of them, man. I send the ones that I really bust my ass on, honestly.
So all of them, because you settle every day. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to Sports Illustrated. Shout out to 5 Reasons. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Franky. Shout out to Tyler Herro, who we're going to be discussing today. Tyler has come back to the Heat with mixed reviews. The Heat are 3-3 with Tyler Herro. They've lost 5 of 6. Starting, they won 2 games when he came back. It was against Dallas. And what was the other one, Franky?
Milwaukee
without Giannis. Then they lose to the Detroit Pistons by 1 point after being down a gajillion. And then they've gone on this stretch where they've lost 5 of 6, including a loss that I called embarrassing at Dallas. Again last night to Orlando, against Orlando again. Against Sacramento at home on Art Basel. You did it in front of the hose. You did it in front of company. How could you? Embarrassing, bro. Embarrassing.
They treated it like how the fans treat the Heat games now, where it's like a pregame for the main event. That was exactly how that game felt.
It was horrible. How was the traffic at that game? That could not have been good.
It's so funny you say that because I happened to have plans that day, and that was the first game I took off this season, and I picked a great game to take off because Brady told me that he was waiting around for an hour plus in the garage where we park at. Just to watch that terrible game. Like I'm glad I didn't go to that one.
Did Brady did Brady not make it to John Summit after at Palm Tree Club?
Yeah, I don't think so. Brady is mysterious. Like I don't know what he does other than go to like Flanagan's and Chick-fil-A. I know those are his things.
Nah, Brady is 100% going to show up behind John Summit at Live or Space one day.
I don't know. Don't be surprised if you see Brady courtside with Chef Trilly at a random NBA game one day.
Brady's kind of like Shams, right? That you don't really know what they do. They kind of look like they live and breathe basketball. But then Shams goes on that podcast with the
Kay Adams.
No, it was with Schultz and those other guys, and then he kind of appears to have a life and stuff, and you're just like, what's going on here?
No, Brady's way cooler
than Shams, I bet. I mean, that's why I say he's going to be with John Summit. Who was not with John Summit? Was Tyler Herro.
Brady had space.
Transition.
Go ahead.
Tyler Herro's not in John Summit's run clubs during Miami Music Week, but. Which, by the way, John Summit, you got to lower your prices, man. I want to go see you, and it cannot be $500 to get it. I'm sorry. I can't, bro. I mean, Bad Bunny doesn't charge that. I don't know what's going on here. We got to fix that. Call me. Let me know. I know you listen to the show. Tyler's come back, and Alex, it's been mixed, and I think when he was getting reintegrated, I thought the area that he would really help them is kind of that in-between zone. He has a great runner. That floater, that little short jump shot, which he's been really good at. And I think they've kind of lacked that in their shot diet. And sometimes that's what a defense gives you, right? Defense will take away a 3. They'll run you off the line or they'll kind of cut off the rim. And those little in-between shots, which are historically low percentage shots, they give you. And Tyler's really good at them. Tyler's also a really good shooter. And I think he's one of their better open floor players. Not that he's going to get to the basket, but he's a good pull-up shooter on the fast break. And he can get to his spots for that aforementioned short jump shot. None of that has been the case other than the fact that he's hit the floaters and stuff like that. And the offense has been the Heat will claim they're being scouted more. Norman Powell said that yesterday, post game. But I have to ask: is how much of Tyler's reintegration affected the flow they had on offense?
It's really a great question, and honestly, I think of course, it's only 6 games in. The jury's still out on that, but I think what it's affected so far. And look, to be fair, we talked about this stuff out on the floor today, so pardon me if I repeat some things. But we're of course going to be able to dive a little bit deeper here, and it's just like, how has it affected the rest of the team? And like you said something pre-game that, and I guess we'll get to it now just because it's relevant here, is Jaquez, man. You said pre-game that before we started the show here that maybe Tyler didn't affect him so much. Jaime was one of their 3 best players. Jaime was legit one of their 3 best players before Herro got back. He got hurt. That's for sure a part of this, like in that same time frame there when Herro came back. So it could be a factor. But Jaime hasn't had the same impact. And you mentioned that since they're not really playing together often, it's you don't really think Tyler's affecting him. I don't think he's affecting him in that way. I think he's affecting him in the sense that maybe not quite as much opportunity, right? Like I feel like in general with Tyler back, just a guy who, even though he's trying to play into their offense, maybe it's just a little bit less ball handling for the guys that were driving so often before, like Davion and Jaime. Just even if Tyler is not like ball hogging and slowing down the offense like people might have thought he was, it's still a guy that you're giving 25% usage to. So it's just going to naturally affect the opportunities of other players. And I don't think it's all Tyler, right? I just think Jaime, not having the same impact that he did beforehand is hurting them. And I did a little like a short deep dive into some of their shot profile stuff before Tyler and after Tyler while we were doing Five on the Floor today. And essentially, like frequency wise, the one thing that's really stayed the same is their frequency of taking short mid-range shots. The shots we were just talking about. Tyler has been great at that. The team has been great at that. They've converted it at a high level and we're 3rd pre and post Tyler, as I mentioned, in frequency. Tyler's helped them with that, and I'm glad he has that. But I mentioned on the show, it feels like him trying to fit into this offense. Not only has it taken away, we're not talking about this portion of his offense, but the pick and roll stuff is gone. But now also like his 3-point rate is down. I think that's
because the pull up, the absence of that pull up shot,
exactly
is really where he got. Yeah,
I think that's like the unintended consequence of this is that they're not getting quite the 3-point impact that you would want out of Tyler. Like I'm glad. Like
there's a solution to that.
Inside the arc.
There's a solution to that. Watch some Duncan Robinson tape, kid.
Well, yeah, no, I get that, but
he's not relocating to corners. Like he's either on ball or at the top of the key. He's not filling corners. He's not. I mean, and I bet you if you look at a shot chart, his corner threes are minimal, or they're late clock.
Yeah, you're probably right. I can't remember many of those.
Which, by the way, quick thing on Jaquez and Herro together, 100 in only games that they've played. This only pulls from games that they both have been available. Herro 102 minutes without Jaquez. Jaquez without Herro 59 minutes. Herro and Jaquez 57 minutes. And in the Jaquez Herro minutes, minus 22 per 100 possessions with a 100 offensive rating. That, I think, to me, is probably the story on this team's kind of free fall, which kind of tells me these bench units are just.
Can I get you something to get to your point here?
Yeah.
The other portion of what I found from like the pre and post Tyler stuff and the team shot profile is that the shots at the rim were down. They ranked 12th in frequency at the rim pre Tyler, and it's 22nd right now. Ever since. Now, of course, again, I should have said this at the top, but there was a couple of games that Tyler didn't play because he got hurt again. Yeah. So that this is factoring in all of that. I should have taken the time to go and get the exact.
Who has time for that?
8 ranges, exactly.
That's a job for Nikias Duncan.
No, honestly, no, but it's true though. Like it has felt like they haven't gotten the same impact at the rim that they were getting before. Like to start the season, it was to me one of the, like, if not the biggest, then easily like right there as like one of the biggest. I guess pros to the offense that they were running is that they were getting a lot more high quality shots, whether at the rim or in the short mid range. And when one part has sustained, as you mentioned, but the other part hasn't, they're not getting the stuff at the rim anymore. And I think Jaime is a big part of that, or Franky, at least not to the same level, and they're finishing worse.
Franky, I think Alex is onto something there, but I actually don't think that's Tyler related. I think that is more about what Norm is talking about, that they've been scouted. And I think that teams are really sinking into the paint. And I think obviously, like, this is all intersectional, right? This is all one big puzzle piece, all one big puzzle, and each piece kind of fits with each other, Franky. But I think the shooting has kind of influenced that a little bit. But teams are packing the paint. Teams are laying off guys because there's no screen to switch or no screen to drop. The defender is not playing up at the kind of the level of the player. They're sinking back, kind of hanging out at the nail or whatever, and they're letting the drive kind of get to them, especially with Hawkins. I think with Jaime, it's happened most because he doesn't have a shot, right? It happens with Davion some as well, because I think teams are like, okay, if you want to take a pull-up three, like, go for it. Yeah, like those non-shooters off the dribble, they're like, yeah, go for it. Tyler doesn't get that treatment, but I think that's kind of what's happening with the rim stuff there, Franky.
Yeah, definitely the scouting has been an issue. Like, we talked about this offseason, but they replaced their most prolific attempts-wise shooter with Norm and Fontecchio, and they didn't add like the rest of the other guys are just gonna change their shot profile in 1 year and magically become elite shooters or more than just respectable. So those guys are going to go through their ebbs and flows, and they just kind of all hit at the same time. Fontecchio, huge slump. Drew, huge slump. Pell, slump. Wiggins, I didn't check Wiggins' stats, but he's been up and down all his whole career. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's slumping a little bit. But yeah, Jaime's not a threat. So they're sagging off. Since Jaime's not on ball as much, they're sagging off him, and they're helping hard on the drives. And there's the ball isn't pinging around enough. I also looked at I talked about this a little bit. I also think Tyler just gets run off the line a little bit too easily. Yep. I pulled up Powell's shot profile the last 6 games that he's played over the last he missed 2 games in this stretch as well, but he played 6 games, and his he's still taking 45% of his shots are from deep. Tyler is at a career low 34%. And, it's not a critique. I just think he's making reads and attacking, but he's get tied for the career low in rim percentage as far as attempts of his shooting, 40% from the short mid, which he's converting at a really high clip. It's just those are less effective and less impactful than forcing a rotation and getting a kick. So I think that him and Bam haven't been reading those drives well either, and that they've kind of been doing it themselves and taking those shots. But they're not kicking as well. And I just think ultimately, I just think it's the roster. I didn't think they improved enough. They didn't flip enough. They didn't change enough of the identity of this team and the skills. I think there's too many overlapping weaknesses, and the team and scouting reports out, they know how to defend this and muck it up. And if you run Tyler and Norm off the line consecutively, there's not another shooter on the roster to be afraid of.
Can I chime in on that really quick?
Yeah.
So that's I know, because I know you were about to say something, G. I know you well enough.
No, what's funny is. No, but what's funny is I was actually gonna also say no, but I was like, let's be nice, and then Franky does it for me
because I have
synergy, baby.
I think what Franky's talking about is really relevant to some of the teams, especially that they played in recent games. I also mentioned this in my SI article from last night about the game.
Plug it.
There you go. They played the Magic and the Mavericks 4 times over the past couple of weeks or so. Combined, and those teams are the 2 teams that give up the least when it comes to percentage of opponent shots from 3. They run teams off the line. They make you navigate around and finish over positional size. And I think what Franky's talking about is 100% right. They're not running everybody off the line. They're running the Heat's real 3-point shooting threats off the line. And I think that's why I talked about this on the show, but I think you're seeing the difference between Norm and Tyler and the way that they react to running the same type of offense. Is Norm is somebody who can get the shot off a little quicker and is willing to take some more contested ones in the flow of offense that they're running right now, where it feels like Tyler is
He's bigger too.
He's yeah, for sure, but
higher release as well.
yes, he has the higher release. He gets air up under the shot as well. Like he's always able to get that shot off the
It's
catch.
that
Feels like
Tyler-
Tyler is more willing to get downhill. And again, like Franky's saying, he's hitting those shots at a high clip, but it's just I want more of the 3-point shooting. Like he's
feel
one of their
like-
only great 3-point shooters.
Because nobody
feel
can
like
replace
Tyler-
that.
Frankie,
But
you
him,
might be able to speak to this. I think mechanically, Tyler like really like squats down before he's gonna shoot and then rises up. Where Norm, I don't think gets as low, right? So there's no like jump squat.
Yeah,
quote
he's
a smash term.
Norm is a lot more ready to catch and shoot. And remember, Tyler, even coming into the league his first year, he had to kind of be reprogrammed because he's always been used to catching and going, catching and dribbling, catching and triple threat.
Yeah.
And he does it. And, he gets a lot of great pump fakes where guy flies by him. He takes a side dribble and splashes it. But yeah,
I think that's effective because he gets so low too.
Yeah.
Because like he just can transition from jump squat into dribble.
Right. But a lot of the problem is a lot of times he's reading the closeout guy and he's not going to take the shot every single time. Yeah,
Somebody in chat goes Bowser with 7 frames of jump squat. I love you, bro. Thank you, Zach Martin's drum.
He knew that comment was going to get highlighted.
Oh my god, dude! Fuck. That's the happiest I've ever been on this show.
Well, like last season, there was a huge talk, and credit to Tyler for changing his shot profile. Last year, he had tied a career low. 36% of his shots came from mid-range, according to Cleaning the Glass. That includes long and short mid. He's taking, because of all these mid-range floaters he's taken, 53% of his shots are from the mid-range. And it's just not a healthy diet. Like, because there's nobody else on the roster that can replicate lineups with Jaime a lot. So Jaime off ball doesn't really help anybody. And then also, I think now that if you have all these guys here, Jeremy Taché mentioned this today, but why are they still doing one starter with the bench when the bench is struggling? Why are they not implementing 2 more? I think there's an adjustment here with the rotation. The starters are really getting all the focus right now because the bench is just struggling and everyone's just kind of shit on it. But I think Spo can like mix and match a little bit better to like one of Tyler and Norm should be on the floor at all times, but one of Bam and Ware need to be on the floor at all times, and Wiggins should be playing. Wiggins is playing a lot, but too much Norm in the bench and Wiggins in the bench and Tyler in the bench, and the only one that's really been successful is Bam with the bench, and that was also a time when they were all hitting shots. So like you don't know if that's gonna still work. So I think that ultimately I just think that the lack of shooting is the problem, but I think there's some stuff they can do to fix to be a little bit better.
Their pace is about the same, and they've played Orlando twice, and Orlando typically plays slow. And Orlando's actually one of the faster teams in the last 7 games. Funny enough, I don't know if that's because they've also played the Heat twice and they're just picking up the pace. But the Heat are second.
It's been like a thing for them. They weren't quite up there the whole season, but they were around the top 10-ish even before this recent stretch. And like the coach and all of them have been talking about it the whole season. It's been like a thing.
This guy's locked in, bro. This guy's fucking locked in.
I mean, I'm over here covering the Magic as well too, along with the Grizzlies, Bucks.
Oh my god, dude! Lock the fuck in, bro.
Whatever site Ethan has control of now, I'm contributing.
That's fucking funny. And with Banchero back and Franz out, see how that.
I thought that would be so much more helpful for them, man. Especially with Paolo, like not fully. I mean, he ended up playing 32 minutes. It was said that he was going to be on a minutes restriction heading into last night, but he doesn't. He always struggles versus the Heat, first of all, and did again last night. But man, like Franz absolutely fried them in the game before, and I just think Franz is a bigger issue for the Heat's defense than Paolo. They always have an answer for Paolo. My God, was their perimeter defense
because it's
so
Bam
bad last night.
He
didn't get the Paolo matchup that often as he usually does.
Because they were too busy fucking dealing with Desmond Bane all over their.
To be fair to them, like Herro and Powell and even Jaquez were like the biggest problems, but also Davion didn't have.
I said that on the show last night. I go, Davion Mitchell is getting deep fried. I said that on the show last night, and I even told Franky.
We give him the benefit of the doubt,
And Kay, no, I don't give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, they need to switch that. And Franky and Kay rightfully said, well, when they're switching that, they just start over helping and stuff, blah, blah, blah. They're leaking threes. And I'm like, Davion shouldn't be the guy, but like Bam has to be in that matchup. And if Orlando, and I don't want to make this a whole thing about yesterday, but if Orlando's putting Bam in the action and the guys who's frying you there, you switch Bam and you get him to get the ball up.
You collapse on whoever they get the mismatch on and just
and
deal with it.
And again, it's not a regular season where like I think if this was the playoffs, they would have done that and they wouldn't have overhelped when Bam's on, and they would have probably had guys, okay, when Bam switches, you guys stay home. Anybody else, you collapse, right? And like or Jimmy, or like they have one guy like Jimmy or Kyle or whoever helps, and everybody else make sure that you stay home. Their pace still high, which I think is good, and I thought they're 2 possessions slower in their last 7. And I think Tyler probably
affects still like around the top 3. I think
they're number 2 in that stretch. Tyler's, I think, gonna affect them a little bit just because, and we've talked about this a lot on post games. He just takes a second. He dribbles more than anybody else on the team, and he's not like Norm where he just gets the ball and goes, or Davion gets the ball and goes, or Hawkins. He surveys the floor a little bit and then goes. And they run. Cooper Moorhead tweets these out a lot, but I think they're running more pick and roll lately. Not a lot, but a few more. Mm-hmm. So I don't think the pace has kind of been the problem, but their transition has been an issue all season. I thought Tyler would help them, and that's one area where he hasn't. And I think that if he is going to get reincorporated, that's one place where I think he needs to be more aggressive and more assertive. And I think the other factor is, and we don't have to get too much into the transition stuff, but to kind of circle back to what you guys are talking about, the shooting, he needs to get off the ball. And I think guys in this offense, if you're open, the ball will find you. And the corners were really important early, whether it's Fontecchio or even Powell when he's off the ball, Bam, Ware, all these guys, Drew Smith, Andrew Wiggins. If you cut to the corner on the weak side, the ball will find you. And Tyler, you don't have to be on ball all the time. Norman Powell can be on ball. And when that corner needs to get filled, if you move, you will get open shots.
I mean, Davion has been a walking downhill touch and their best passer. Like they should be, and they're starting together. They should be able to do get to a little bit more of that.
But
like
he stays at the top of he stays at the wing, and he wants to swing. And I think the problem with the swing is they'll ignore the corner guy and stay with you. So make them defend you in the corner. Guard. Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, whatever. Who cares if Andrew Wiggins catches that? They don't care.
Who cares if Pella Larson or Drew Smith or Hawkins or Bam or Ware? Like, you think they're going to be worried about those guys more?
They don't care. They don't care.
Exactly.
Only Fontecchio and Herro, which is funny because Fontecchio stinks right now. He's Rizzless, as somebody tweeted at me the other day.
He had to come back to earth.
So did Norm. Norm was shooting 47% at some point. And I remember when I had suggested that they shop him to the Pistons when everything was so hunky-dory. Everybody got really mad at me, and I was like, this is not going to continue. And he was what was he, 3 for 13 yesterday from 3, 4 for 12, something like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough, but
he had a hot start and then completely was like 1 for 7 in the second half.
Which is fine. I mean, he's a really good player. I think he's a fantastic player. And
4 for 12.
I don't know if he'll be an all-star, but he'll be close. So that's kind of where I am with Tyler and their offense. And I don't think he's the problem for everything that we said. I do think that he could do more to help them. And I think he needs to sacrifice a little bit. And I know that sucks to say for a guy was their best offensive player last year, who's probably been one of their best or second best offensive player the last few years. But I do think he needs to get off the ball a little bit. I do think he needs to play more within the system. I think he's like probably made them 10% less of what they were offensively since he came back. He's added things for sure. I just think that if he played within what they were doing a little more, which he's done. I don't want to, I don't want anybody to construe this a certain way. Like, I don't think this is Tyler's fault offensively. I think that he could do a little bit more to help them. And they've just not been as good since he's come back. And I think that's a lot of factors, as we just talked about. But I do think he can help them a little more by maybe giving up some on-ball touches and doing more filling of corners, more kind of cutting and stuff like that. I mean, we talk about him in a lot of ways as a basketball player, but that's one thing. And I think a little bit more playmaking. I don't have his assist numbers.
It's like cut in half because he's more of a play finisher now.
Exactly. And that was the other thing I was going to say was like, we've joked about the 0 assist games, and I don't mind them because he is a play finisher. And I've said that on the post game shows. I just wish that clearly some of this isn't working. And if you're not having it going, I think you do need to, if you are going to drive, make sure you kick. And if you're not going to drive and kick, make sure that you're filling the corners and stuff.
He's averaging career low in assist percentage. So his Bam is second fewest. Yesterday between those two, Norm and Wiggins, they had 9 assists total, 12 potential assists for the game, which drives me crazy because that's why I had doubts about this lineup. It's just too many cooks. Davion's the only one that's pass first in that lineup, and I think they need a connector in that. But it's so hard because of the lineup, the rest of the lineup construction. Wiggins is masquerading as a small ball 4, and that's has its ups and downs, and you're giving up a lot of size. And then you have Powell at the 3, so he's not at an advantage anymore at the like he was at the 2. Tyler, you have to make up for it defensively. I just think I think they need some roster balance they should have done in the offseason, but we're here. But also, they only have the NBA has 4 games of sample for Tyler for some reason, but he's at 2.74 average seconds per touch. That would be 4th on the team behind the main ball handlers. So Davion, Drew, and Jaime. That's fine. Like he's adjusting in that sense. But I definitely think just shot profile adjustment to help make up for that difference, and guys need to hit shots as well, and the ball needs to move around a little bit faster offensively.
I don't think he's the problem. I think he's been like good. I don't think
not
clearly,
not on offense at least.
Yeah, no, we'll get to that in a second. But offensively, I think it's
super efficient.
It's the second highest, obviously a 6-game sample, but he's averaging the second most points in his career.
They need to find a way to get him some more threes, man.
He's 50, 40, 90.
Yes, Ethan brought that up too today.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, especially because he went 0 for 6 from 3 last night and has only played 6 games. You'd think that would affect the percentage more. But they need to find a way to get him some more threes, man. And
he's at 6.
I completely agree with Franky. Like, they need to do some balancing with the rotations, because when you look at who's coming off the bench now when they're all healthy, it's a lot of these two-way connector type of guys like Drew and Pella.
Drew was out of the rotation. I mean, Drew came in because Pell got hurt.
Yeah,
which I don't like. I think he has to play. I think he's been really good.
I don't. I think Spo is in a weird place with the rotation right now. Like, he almost doesn't know what to do. He benched Kalel in the second half against the Kings. He only played Kalel 12 minutes last night. Simone was out of the rotation at one point. Nico has been out of the rotation. Now Drew was out of the rotation last night till Pella got hurt. It just feels like he's in a weird place. The bench looks so good to start with. I think that's the biggest impact of all this is they're not getting that same, other than the rim stuff that I mentioned earlier, they're not getting the same impact from their bench. They have guys who 100% to what Franky was talking about before. They have guys that they can, mix together with these lineups. They don't all need to be playing together all the time.
Where has stunk too? Where has stunk?
No, don't even get me started on Ware, because everybody gets mad when I talk about Kalel.
No, Alex, I did the cardinal sin the other day of saying if Ware's ceiling is DeAndre Jordan, are you disappointed or are you happy? And everyone,
because they think that's his floor.
It's because they think you're only talking about skill set,
which is ridiculous. Even if I wasn't, he's not a great. He's an okay 3-point shooter.
No, yeah.
People are acting like he's
Karl Anthony Towns is a 3-point shooter. You're
dog. They act like he's Dirk.
Blaspheming against Kalel Ware.
They're acting like he's Laurie. We have Laurie Markkinen at home.
No, yeah. I mean, look, man. It's just
fuck out of here, dude.
I feel a couple of different ways about it, because I've been on Kalel's ass since last year on the show. I try to hold myself back, because I think it's sometimes it gets lost and people don't want to hear it when it's coming from the same person every time. But he's still he's gotten better, but he still does a lot of the same stuff. And last night was a perfect example of it. He got caught jumping when he didn't need to, and got I think it was Goga Bitadze who ended up drawing that foul on him. It's why are you jumping?
Who Alf didn't know who that was.
You're jumping on Goga 18 feet away from the basket. Like, what is that? That's not even
He
like it's one thing to
regressed.
do it for Karl Anthony Towns. Like, that's way more understandable. Like Cat got him a couple times that one game, but Goga, like that's not smart. His pick and roll defense isn't always the best. He loves to rebound with his arms and not put a body in between him and the man. Like, it's not 100% of the time, but it's just too often. It happens too often. And going up to block a shot and taking himself out of rebounding position. He does that like 5 times a game. You know, like these are things he needs to polish these things up. And I think the impact just off of that is going to make him so much better. And like he shows it from time to time, but it's just not, it needs to be an every possession thing, not a sometimes thing for him. And then the other thing is why I feel like I have these complex feelings about Kalel is because with all that being said, I still want him to play. I need them to figure out that Bam and Kalel group. They can't just be like, oh, well, it's bad. Give it up. One of the things that was supposed to be nice about this team is that you can run the different styles. That you can go bigger, you can go smaller. You know, you have different types of lineups you can get to. It seems like now they only have one type of lineup they can get to. And you know me, I'm not like I'm not a big ball truther. Like it's gotta work. It's gotta make sense. But this is the regular season. Kalel is a guy that you're invested in. I feel like and that's what they talked about from day one after drafting him, was being a guy who can play next to Bam. So even for all the flaws that it has and all the flaws that I pick out in Kalel, they need to find a way to work through it. And I feel like Spo is kind of caught in this cycle right now where he wants to punish Kalel because he's not doing everything he needs to. But then it's like, when do you get to the other side, right? And I guess that's what he's betting on, is that after all this, like he'll eventually get better for it. And in the meantime, it's just like they're in this weird identity crisis where they're not getting that bench impact and they're not getting the 2 different types of looks. Like they're abandoning the double big look, and it's not for nothing, but they're in a tough place right now.
The double bigs have played 20 minutes with Tyler. They're -5 with 100 offensive rating.
Yeah, okay. And that's the other thing. I wonder if the counter is you just try to not play with those guys as much, because you can't have Herro and Ware together being put in pick and rolls.
Herro and Ware together minus about 2. Herro, Ware, no Bam, minus about 2 per 100 possessions with a 116.5 defensive rating.
Yeah,
some of that is shot variance though, because I look it up on Data Baller, and the Herro with the double bigs, the Heat are shooting 25% from 3 in 19 minutes, and they're allowing 50% from deep in those minutes. It filters out the non-leverage.
Oh, okay. So
leverage.
I think some of that, and like Zach Lowe like references like stuff like that a lot. I think with this kind of lineup, I don't think that's just shooting luck, because I have questions at how mobile defensively this is, because you do have a guy who gets picked on in pick and roll, and they oftentimes put Bam in the weak side corner, which kind of takes him out of actions. And then you're slow, right? Because now you're small in the action, you're slow in the coverage, your best defender's not in the picture, and then you have 2 other guys. Probably one of them is Davion Mitchell, who's 6 feet, and another one's Norman Powell or whatever. So I think that while I agree to like kind of filter out the shooting variance, I think there's something to that. I think that there's something to maybe their own shooting variance. But again, you're playing 2 bigs who are not elite shooters, and the teams are going to leave those guys open, and they're going to take a lot of shots.
Yeah, and Tyler's getting run off the line, meanwhile, as we talked about.
So I don't totally, I agree with you. I don't totally throw that out, because I do think that some of those numbers are a function of that lineup. And I think,
yeah, definitely.
I think this all comes down to people think Bam is a different kind of player than he is. And I don't think Bam is the downhill threat off the dribble that people want him to be. And I've wanted him for years to be Amari Stoudemire, and he's just barely that on.
You know what's funny? Oh man, I can't believe I'm about to say this on this show.
Can't wait.
The one time I remember saying this once, the year that they were the 1 seed is when he kind of found that best balance, in my opinion.
I agree.
And what happened in that year, man? Like he had
what happened? Tell me.
He had Kyle Lowry there, man.
Yeah,
it wasn't all him, but he had a nice balanced shot profile. And now G's gone.
I had to do
it. I hate to say it. Like G's so happy, man.
It's making me sick.
I know. especially since Lowry is just playing the UD role now for Philadelphia.
No, and the current UD role because he's still working for like Prime Amazon Prime. At the same time.
Not tell Alex. Tell me more. Tell me more.
We've got a double UD situation, folks.
B squared.
No, but I agree, man. Like Bam is not, unless he's playing Wendell Carter Jr., Miles Turner, Jaren Jackson, he's not a downhill threat enough.
It's also like now does it more oddball too. Like he's self-creating more than ever too. So
yes.
Like his ebbs and flow. Like I'm surprised he's been as consistent as he's been. Like
when there's not much easy stuff for him.
Yeah, and I like Davion, but he can't really get him involved in this offense. He can't really like pick. I'm gonna get him involved.
Well, he's not a pick and roll player. Like I think if they ran more pick and roll, which I don't know because he's a much better passer in this system than he was in pick and roll, and I do think that the court gets a little more crowded and there's some bigger hands in there. And
they're probably going under on Davion Bam pick and rolls.
I think
Davion has the little midi for him has been nice as a counter. I like the midi.
I love Davion Mitchell. He's been like one of my favorite players this season. Yeah, he's been exceptional. Like he's like when I've said they should be sellers, he's one of the guys that I don't think they should move. I think they should really kind of keep him and I think that they have the skeleton of like a really elite defense, and I think Mitchell and Bam are kind of part of that, and I think Wiggins is too, by the way. And I've been really critical of Wiggins, but I think defensively he's so good.
He's just so really up and down sometimes.
I just think he can't guard. He can't guard up, which is the problem. And I think that yesterday that was a problem, right? Like he's had
moments of it, but he can't do it consistently.
He should have been on Bane, I think.
Like I thought he did good work on Cat, like keeping Cat away from the paint and just trying to fight.
I just have negative respect for Cat.
Jaime did a great job on Cat.
Yeah,
everybody gets a piece of Cat, bro. Everybody gets a piece of Cat.
Besides Ware, because Ware jumps every time.
These fucking Franky, these Dominicans.
Oh, Primo, que lo que es, tigre?
Too much mango, bro. Mango stinks.
No such thing. Whoa.
I don't like mango.
Oh, that was the worst take ever. Get him out of here.
I don't fuck with mango, bro.
No. This is chaotic.
I don't fuck with the Puerto Rican equivalent either.
I don't care. I'm not Puerto Rican.
Mofongo, yeah. I don't like it.
You can talk about Puerto Rican mofongo.
Frank is like, I get the fucking Puerto Ricans. Who cares?
That's the wrong island, you racist.
I'm as the equivalent. Chat says you wild and cheat. No, I'm just maybe I haven't had good mofongo, but I've been to DR. I've been to fucking Cotuí, where I've had great food, Dominican food, but I had a chivo and rice. They killed that goat right there. Bro.
I got you. Let me get my aunt to make use of a mango.
I heard them kill the goat. Dude.
You'll change your mind.
They got Kyle Lowry right in front of my eyes.
Asia, no.
Did you see that before we go back? Did you see that Bam quote today? It was like Asia's like, "Oh, he's the love of my life. I can't wait to have family. He's my soulmate, my partner." Bam's like, "Yo, we twin." I was like, inside of you, there are two beasts.
I love them, man.
They're the greatest.
I'm happy for Bam.
I'm so happy for Bam. I'm not happy for him having to deal with some of their defensive issues, though, which I do think, as I was saying earlier, what a transition. Come on, you gotta give that to me. They have the skeleton of a really, really elite defense, and I think the three guys I mentioned, and then like Pill Larson. It's really good. I think Nico is a good defender who is not playing right now, but he's
big 8 seed in the comments. Said back to Tyler bashing, please.
we're coming back. Drew Smith, obviously we know what he's doing. I think Hawkins has been like pretty solid, and we've highlighted a lot of his help principles and tendencies this year, which I think has been really, really good. Pill Larson, all those guys, and I think that there's a skeleton of a really good defense. And that's the other kind of element I think that has kind of really, really slipped Alex since Tyler's come back. Their defense is not defensively. They have a 111 defense with Tyler on the court, which would be 7th in the league. So that's not bad, right? But eye test doesn't kind of.
Have you seen what it is when he's off? Ever since he's been back, have you seen that?
No, it isn't.
116 somehow.
Oh worse. Yeah. They're better with him.
Worse. But I think that a lot of that, like obviously besides that tiny sample, is that the bench lineups just haven't been good, period.
The two big lineups have been horrible. It's 120 defensive rating.
Yeah, like
for
I'm not
them.
sitting here trying to act like Tyler is helping their defense, but I had to do a double take when I saw that. Like, am I reading this right? Like their defense is 5 points better ever since he came back with him on than off. But yeah, like for sure the Tyler thing, like it's still the biggest issue with him, man. Like
They're
everybody
21st in
knows.
defense. Their last 6 games, by the way.
There you go. There you go. That can't happen. Like all of a sudden, you know, the stuff that they're doing is feeling kind of gimmicky with the pace because the defense is not where it needs to be. And you hinted at it before, you alluded to it before, but they've had some insane shot selection in transition recently, man. Like they're just taking shots just for the hell of it. Like that's what it feels like at sometimes, like just to get a shot up in the first few seconds of the shot clock. And like a lot of these guys are not like that. Just to be honest, they're not like that. Like Drew is the one that has stuck out to me most. Not necessarily last night, but in other games where like he will take like these transition threes where his feet are barely even set. It's like these rush threes. I'm like, bro, that's not you. Like, what are you doing, man? I liked you when you were just taking catch and shoot set threes. You have your weird little finishing bag in the paint that's been oddly good. You know, like he's like this nice two-way backup point guard. I don't like Drew when he's taking shots like that. And it's not just him. He's just the one that I think of. But like other guys in general, just like taking these rush shots in transition that are not good shots. And it's like, yeah, I understand you want to play quick, but the whole point is to get good shots out of it.
Yeah, it's not
like,
just take a
more
quick
possessions
fast
and
shot.
better shots.
Yeah,
Like,
Drew. I know. I immediately pictured it in my mind. He has one foot on the ground, the other one is still lightly up, and he's like setting it, and the shot's going up already.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god,
dude,
it's like you're in my
set
head.
that foot. You're on. You have time. And
Yes,
him
man.
and Wiggins taking the contested threes in transition. I'm like, what's the point of that?
Yes. Oh my god.
And
bro.
this is why Nico got benched. This is literally why Nico got benched, because he's taking those shots with 11 on the clock, somebody in his face, like fuck it. Instead of like, yo, let me keep the ball moving. Let me drive, try to kick it. If help comes or if I get stuck, like that's where they've been killing themselves. Their transition offense has been so bad lately.
I mean, it's been bad all season.
No.
Yeah,
I'm saying
like they just get the transition frequency up, but I feel like they haven't been that effective, like points per possession wise in transition. They just have more of it.
They need like they don't have like positional size like Orlando does, and they don't have athleticism at the wing, right? Because like Wiggins is not
the lineups that they're running.
Like if Keshad Johnson was better, this would feel a little different. But
yeah,
Here we go.
I don't think a lot about Keshad. That's just what I'm gonna say about
is
it.
it Keshad or Keshad?
Keshad.
I think it's I think
Eric
I
Reed
read
says
that it was
Keshad.
I think it might be, man. And you know they have the official pronunciation there.
I've seen Eric Reed pronounce Giannis's name.
I think it might be. It's Keshad.
All
I've
right,
been saying it the wrong way for a while.
In transition, Norm 99th percentile, Pell 97th percentile, Davion 89th percentile, Bam 80th percentile, and then the drop. This is cleaning the glass.
But I'm saying is this like points per possession?
Yeah,
I mean,
points per possession.
100.
Yeah,
Points per possession.
all transition. Then it for Bam at 80th, and then it drops to Tyler at 48th, and then it drops to Nico at 31st, and then Wiggins at 21st, Kalel at 21st, Jaime at 19th, Drew and Simone at 6th.
Jaime at 19th surprises me because I thought he was kind of one of their better pacemakers in transition.
It's because he's been taking too many of the rushed contested ones lately, and those are just like not falling for him since the injury, and it's been a lot of early transition for him, and he's not able to he's not bumping guys off their spots, he's not blowing it finessing to get to the rim either. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, Alex, but did you I think they've also lost a little bit of their passing in the transition. They're trying to dribble it up the floor now instead of like hit aheads and stuff. Obviously the Bam had the great touchdown pass to Tyler though. I was like, what? Like I've been waiting for more of those, but I feel like they haven't advanced the ball enough with the hit aheads anymore. It's like something that's been lacking from their game.
For sure, I just in general like the ball moves quicker than you do, right? And I think it feels like sometimes they just run around with like a chicken with their head cut off or whatever the saying is in transition. Like they're just I don't know, man. Like it seems almost like panicky at times, where it's like, oh, we gotta get a shot up, or else the clock is gonna go off. We're not gonna get a shot off in the first 6 seconds. Oh no, then everything is bad. Then we're the old Heat. It's like, no, can you get a good shot? Like, isn't that the whole point of all this?
I want to kind of reorient this to close this out about their defense, where I think that we kind of agree that the numbers with Tyler on haven't been bad, but they've just kind of struggled. Anyway, I do think that the Heat do have to orient their defense a bit to zone, especially when he's on the floor. And we've talked a lot about the zone on the post game. For Alex, I don't like it because they don't have those kind of bigger, more athletic wings that I think used to make Miami zone really special, and they just don't. They don't have that positional size. They are. It's funny because even when they play two bigs, they're small, right? Like they just don't have big backcourt players. They don't have big wings, right? And even if they have wings, they're not like. I mean, it's not like PJ Tucker was a big wing, but PJ Tucker was a strong wing, right? It's not like Kyle Lowry was a big guard. He was a strong guard, and they used their strength to kind of make up for size. And I don't really think that
Davion's pretty strong, but he can only do so much.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Wiggins has length, but not size, if that makes sense. I don't, you know what I mean? And like, so their zone, I feel girth. Their zone, I feel, hasn't had bite. And I think their defense hasn't had bite. I don't think I don't have the numbers pulled up, but I don't feel like they're turning opponents over a lot, which helps their offense. And they kind of feed off of that. And I do think that's one area where Tyler limits them defensively. I don't think they can be as aggressive because they have to cover for his blind spots, right?
They're basically like, you're on defense, right? Instead of playing offense on defense, they're playing defense on defense. You know what I mean? Like they're having a cover for Tyler.
Prevent stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a pressure point. They can't be they were defending from a point of strength before where they didn't have to hide anybody, and they could be more aggressive and mix in like a set defense or like very conservative defense and mix in aggression like we talked about before, where Drew would just double on an isolation just because he thought it was a good opportunity, and then you have guys who can rotate and be versatile defensively. Now you have Tyler and Norm, who Norm falls asleep off ball, but Tyler's issues are more on ball, and you're covering for both of those guys now and trying to find a balance. And then you don't have the height and length
at it too. Like they've done a shit job at trying. Like we've seen them hide Tyler for years and other bad defenders, and we kind of know what their solutions are to it. Like when they're at their best with those guys playing defensively, I feel like it's when they have like that hedge and recover down pack, and they're executing it. And
but you know what they don't have that those other teams had?
Jimmy.
Size at the wing, at the nail, to make sure that you're helping on that drive, right?
Oh, I get that, but I just think sometimes like the guys actually executing, like the two defenders are the ones that are botching it in the first place. Yeah. And it feels like, especially like Tyler has been out of position a lot of times. Like how long have you done this? Like I know they've had you. I know I've been here this whole time. Like they've had you do this hedge and recover stuff for years, and I wish they would do it more because I don't really see what the other's like solution is other than send a shit ton of help and have him get switched. I don't really like that. I don't like when they just defer the switches. I understand you can't always hedge it. Like sometimes it's just that the guy is not like the timing and positioning isn't always perfect to be able to hedge it every time. But like they need to polish that up. They need to clean that up because if not, like it's just collapsing their defense too much. And
and he knows how to do it. You could pre-switch, right? Which they do a lot, right? They'll pre-switch in action so that they'll kind of manipulate the defense, especially when a team has.
I mean, the book is out on them. Like it's almost to the point where like, and I'm maybe you're not going to hear them say it other than Darius Garland that one time, but like teams are going to say like they're going to do this. They're going to wait and they're going to just attack these guys.
We saw Cade Cunningham do it, bro. We just saw it.
Oh yeah, we saw Ty Jerome do it.
Yeah, we saw Ty Jerome do it. I mean, we've seen countless guys do it over the years. Like last night, they had Bane and Paolo. Again, but Paolo didn't do great, but like they were creating offense out of originally like putting these guys in the action and going from there. Whether it was, even though Paolo wasn't scoring out of it many times, other than that in that one fourth quarter shot where he just shot right over him. Like they're creating offense out of this every time. It's just like easy. It's an easy thing to go at if you're another team. And I'm almost to the point where, like, if it keeps becoming an issue down the stretch, like it probably will continue to be, you're gonna have to have a serious conversation about him not closing.
That's never gonna happen.
I know. I just think you can make the case for it now, especially when you
Spo-
have a guy in
Spo
Norm
loves
who
him.
does a lot of the things,
Spo loves him, and it's kind of strange. I've always felt like I'm always surprised by how much Spo goes to bat for him.
Because like Tyler is not like his bad defense isn't a result of him not trying. I think that's what
I
Spo
agree
likes about him. It's like he's doing the best he can.
I think like positionally, more times he's in the right place on ball. I definitely agree. And on ball,
right to him.
yeah. But like, dude, he doesn't put his body on the line to take charges and stuff. And like,
I don't want him to.
I mean, he doesn't want to, so it doesn't matter what we want. But like,
he's been hurt too much,
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing where like, like if winning mattered above
charges are dead, Frankie. Nobody on this team takes them.
Bell does. I miss him. I miss him. Hope his ankle heals up. He's out.
Maybe on occasionally, right? A couple times.
Yeah. Alex, they said Pell's out for a couple weeks, right? Today?
Yeah, they said they're estimating 1 to 2 weeks, so we might not see him for 3 months.
That's what I was thinking.
We've seen him in his last game.
You never know with the Heat. I feel like everybody has PTSD with that. It's like just like when Bam got hurt, when others got hurt, like when Tyler got hurt again. It's like, well, like,
yeah,
how long is this really going to be?
Day to day.
6 to 8 weeks.
Bam had a day to day. He missed like 2 weeks.
My God.
There you go.
I think that their defense will stabilize a little bit. I think they know how to play with Herro. They know how to hide him. I do think that'll stabilize. I think some of that will be reorienting lineups. I think some of that is just being unlucky with opponent shooting. I think like Orlando.
Stagger the hell out of Herro and Norm.
That's the other thing. I do think that their defense will be top 10 this year. I'm pretty confident. They have too many plus defenders. And I think that the scheme has been the scheme. There's not too much change. There is more switching this year, which I do like. And I think that they've dialed that back a little bit because the rebounding was a real problem. So they've reeled in some of that switching. But I still like the way that they switch and the way that they use drop. I think Ware's been better. I think Hawkins has been better in general.
Do we have their zone numbers, like their zone defense numbers? Because I wonder where that's at this year.
Frankie, do you have synergy to get that?
I do not. Let me see if
I don't have synergy. That'd be a Cooper Moorhead question. You could ask Coop at the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a wealth of knowledge. Do you sit next to Coop?
At the press conferences, I typically do. Yeah, not at the game, but yeah.
I loved when I would go to games, when I was covering games, I loved sitting next to Coop. It was the best.
Yeah, I always don't want to bother him because I feel like, he's in the lab.
He talks to you though. Like he doesn't say anything. He just kind of looks up and he'll give you a stat that you didn't ask for, like unsolicited. I was like, oh, that's like a little nugget.
The best, bro.
And it didn't get tweeted. So that was just for me. I was like, oh damn, that was sick.
And I love it because he razzes Brady about his lack of movie knowledge because Brady has never watched a movie or a TV show ever.
Really? We gotta get Brady on Andor.
Oh my God, bro! Please don't get me started on that. Now I'm gonna get like how you were earlier about Kyle Lowry. Hold on.
Do you not like Andor?
The opposite, motherfucker.
I'm halfway in season 2. I'm halfway in season 2. I fucking love that show. Luthen, one of my favorite Star Wars characters ever.
Amazing fucking show.
Mon Mothma is the hottest white woman who's ever lived.
That show is incredible, man. Amazing show. It absolutely smokes every single other thing that Star Wars has put out.
Oh, it's easily it's easily.
It's not even close. It's not even close. That they're it's like 3 tiers better than anything else that they put out. And I'm not even like I don't hate everything else. I just think Andor is that much better.
Andor is so
incredible show.
Good. And season 2 is so directed, and so I'm halfway through season 2. But it's been just incredible. Shogun was also really
highly recommended to anybody. You don't need to be a big Star Wars fan. As you know, you're not a Star Wars guy.
I'm not, and my girlfriend has never seen Star Wars at all. And
there you go. You don't need to know it. It's just all you got to know is it takes place in the Empire, and you just go from there.
Yeah. I've not seen any original trilogy movie. I've only seen episode 2, Revenge of the Sith.
That's not episode 2. That's episode 3.
No, episode 2 and Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Major Parsons says Star Wars is mid. I think new Star Wars is mid. The J.J. Abrams. Who did the new ones? I don't know. Those are pretty big.
Yeah, that shit was a mess.
he did-
I hear Rogue One is good, and I know that
That's the thing.
Andor
You should have watched
leads into-
Rogue One ahead of Andor.
I know, but I haven't. So I'm gonna watch Rogue One after
But you can
Andor.
still watch it after, and it'll
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah,
it'll be good.
A lot
Have
of
you
people
seen-
watched it again after, and they said it changes
I heard it's
everything.
fun. Alex, have you seen Shogun?
No,
Great show. That's
you should know
another
better.
one.
Let's ask me
That one's fucking awesome. That one, I mean, between Shogun and Andor, I always say like Andor is hype moments and Shogun is aura farming. Like all Shogun is just samurai.
Andor
aura
changed my
farming.
life.
And Mon Mothma changed my life.
Obi-Wan ruined my life. God, I haven't been able to go back to Star Wars because of how bad that show.
No, give Andor.
I want to.
Alf loves it.
You
Alf
have to,
loves
you
it.
No, I know. It's
It's
on my
also
list.
very on the nose politically right now.
Oh, okay.
It's so good.
I saw
It's
somebody
so
say
good.
that they that it didn't get nominated for that Golden Globe because Mon said genocide too many times.
Probably.
Oh my god. So I think in conclusion, the Empire is bad and needs to help Gorman. I'm just kidding. I think we all kind of fall in the same place where this is not Hero's fault, but he's not helping. And I do think that there's a solvable solution with Herro on the floor. I think to kind of reorient some of that stuff on offense. And I think defensively, I want to watch more. I don't know what to make of their defense. I just do think that it'll get better. I think that they have too many good guys on defense. And I think they've lived life with Tyler getting attacked with Duncan Robinson on the floor too. I think the only difference is Bam, that Norm and Tyler have to be on the floor like in every important moment. And those are the two probably
Do they
weaker
have to?
defenders on the team. Yeah. So that's kind of, they didn't have to do that with Duncan. They just take him off.
Do they have to though?
Well, you know the answer to that. So I think we all kind of came. Would you agree? We all kind of came that, well, it's not Tyler's fault. He hasn't helped. And he
Yeah, I mean, there's no
certainly
doubt
can
like
reorient.
a player like him is going to affect things. There's just no way around it.
Yeah.
It's just
People thought they were just going to start averaging 165 per game.
he averages 25. So if you add that to what they've done so far,
People need to stop playing fantasy.
You know who
basketball.
does that? Ethan does that.
Yeah.
Like the one who does that is Ethan Skolnick.
Ethan was so confident that it was just going to be no problem, and I'm like, that's 30 minutes a game is coming from everybody else. That's shots and touches. Like everyone's going to adjust. We don't know how smooth it's going to go. And
They're a different team with Tyler. I think that's like
Yeah.
the most important. They're a different team. I think that they're probably, in my honest opinion, either as good or 10% worse. With here,
I think they were getting solved a little bit as well.
and that's my point. Like
Yeah.
it was already like on the
Yeah.
decline in some of their guys.
some
too.
of the shooting stuff will, I think, stabilize a little bit because they've completely gone the other way. Like over the past four, over
Yeah.
the losing streak, 29%.
I don't think
from
they're
three.
this bad.
Yeah, they're not 29% from three bad like they are over the streak, and also during the streak, opponents are shooting 44% from three. They had great opponent shooting luck to start the season. It feels like that's going to stabilize at some point,
I agree.
and that'll help them. But
Their
it's not
3-point
only
rate has been down a lot, and that's
Their what? I'm sorry.
Their 3-point rate has been down, and that's something I'm concerned with. They're just not getting enough shots up.
And we talked about how they can fix that by kind of.
I think they're like bottom 3 in the league over this stretch.
They need to find a way to get more shots for their better shooters,
Yeah,
like more threes, I should say. For their better shooters.
that's something Tyler could do better at because he's not used. They weren't running the double drags for him to come off and get a 3. It was mostly to get him the ball and then go into a pick and roll and create.
What
off
would you
that.
guys incorporate or reincorporate to get more threes for these guys?
G
I
says
think
nothing.
the relocation stuff. I think that Tyler just has to be a little bit more off ball, cut stuff like that. I think when they do screen, which they don't do very often, I would not mind some Tyler Norm pick and roll where Tyler or Norm screen and they flare and they move.
Ooh, I like that.
I like the
that's
ghost
something.
screens.
Yeah,
The
I
ghost screen.
think they could do, and Duncan used to do this a lot for them, where Duncan would come to the middle of the floor and screen, and Bam would go baseline to baseline, and then Duncan would then fly out. I think that's stuff that they can do too, because they do run off-ball screens. The problem is they don't run on-ball pick and roll. They don't run on-ball screens, but they run a ton of off-ball stuff, including I feel like I haven't seen that Norman Powell, that little pin down that they run for Powell. I haven't seen them do that in a while. I think they could do.
Can they just get back to that?
I think that they should just go back to that. I certainly like that.
They got great stuff out of that every time, whether it's
Dude,
Norm like
don't do it anymore,
shooting or going downhill. We haven't seen a lot of, like, I think he did some last night, but and I felt like Norm was getting downhill a little bit more to start the season.
They could do that for Tyler too. Like that.
Well, Tyler's getting downhill too much at this point.
too much. But like I think they could run the pin down stuff for him to get some early looks in the clock, and I think that.
But is he willing to take those like Norm is?
Well, he has to like that, and that we're talking about like how they can get those quicker shots. Like that's just something like coaching staff has to be like, Tyler, hey, listen, blah blah blah. You should do this.
They did that work last year, like all that stuff last year about him adjusting his shot base so it doesn't always have to be wide like it is as a foundation. And it's like you'd think that would help here to get a shot off quicker, like but
that was also a problem in the second half of last season where Tyler was getting run off more and his attempts dropped a lot. And that everyone said it was just because he had nobody else to score, but it was just, like if you close out hard on him and he's not taking the shot, like and he's not adjusting to take that shot, like
I wonder
it's just the book on him.
I wonder how much
he needs to incorporate what Norm does, where he grifts those little foul calls. That would be really helpful.
I wonder how much of this is like a guy of that stature just doesn't want to stand in the corner, because I do think that just because you stand in the corner doesn't mean that you can't attack off the dribble, which I think is another thing. Yeah, like you could still like they run like 3 actions in a shot clock possession. You know what I mean? Like they'll drive and then they'll kick, and he can pump and go. He can shoot. He could do a lot out of the corner, which I thought that's when they were at their most successful. When guys, Drew Smith, Pell Larson, Nico, like all those guys attacking off the closeouts, and where they are forcing rotation off the drives, especially like Davion and those guys and Powell. And I think that they can kind of play to that a little bit more. I think that requires a little more structure to the offense and kind of make sure that that's built in. And I know that they have a really kind of no rules, mom's not home kind of offense right now, but I think those are the things. And I think we talked enough defensively. I think they'll be fine. I think that they're probably going to fight for a 4 or a 5 seed, which is more than any of us thought they would.
I definitely feel that they're ahead of expectations, even with the losing 5 out of 6. But I do think like I'm going to be interested to see if they bring back some old friends when it comes to offensive triggers. I wonder if they're going to try to find some sort of like, hey, we'll run a couple more, pick and rolls, couple more handoffs. Not many. Like it'll still be relatively like very low compared to the rest of the league. But I wonder if that's like at some point an evolution here where like, Norm is historically a really good handoff player and had high pick and roll numbers last year with Zubac, who's obviously a different type of player than Bam. But, Tyler has had the pick and roll stuff in the past. I wonder if they try to get back to some, just little sprinkles and dashes just to kind of throw, a couple different layers into the offense. I think you could still get into your actions quick. You can get into that stuff quick. But I understand it's not. That's why I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it, because it messes with the geography of the court a little bit. If you're going to have the big screening up top or wherever they're going to be screening.
I'm anti-running pick and roll right now. I'm just anti-running it.
I think a great solution for it, like G, you mentioned, like, and they run like 3 or 4 actions in a clock. Just run it under 8 only. If it's an issue, you got nothing. Like the Spurs used to do that.
I actually don't like that because I think the teams can just trap or switch.
You got time if they trap and switch, you slip and you go back into your regular actions. And Bam's a better passer in the short roll, anyways.
That's a side pick and roll.
Yeah, I was going to say that was another old friend that we haven't seen a lot.
They've done it too. Like they have Ware setting the Tim Duncan screen lower, not high. They're like lower, like at the elbow or whatever, like kind of like that side area.
Run some Spain, some screen.
I haven't seen them run Spain all year.
No, I don't think they have.
It's just tough to find the balance because, like the wheel stuff, the wheel concept, it's great. I really like it. But then sometimes, and look, they talked about this a lot last night after the game, but it feels like when their offense is not like it hasn't been running at the same level recently, that their off-ball movement stagnates. I don't know if you guys feel 100%. The same way. Their wheel hasn't felt as dynamic recently. I don't know if that's just like placebo effect from the 3-point shooting luck going the other way. But I do, and me just like blaming it on the movement. But I don't know. I'm not feeling the off ball movement quite as much. The wheel hasn't felt quite as wheelie, right? Like it's not constantly moving. It's felt like
how often before when they would get a drive to the basket, somebody was cutting off ball too. And
yeah, that's evaporated.
Yeah, completely. Like I was waiting in the fourth quarter, especially from the starters.
Well, that's because like the initial drive is not drawing the help that it should.
I know, but I'm saying you can just cut through and try to take advantage of the off ball, not paying attention.
Where are the 45 cuts?
Yeah,
where do they go?
Bring it back.
Exactly. You can redirect the cut into an off ball screen too. Like it doesn't have to be straight to the basket. There's a lot of things you can play with and stuff. Like if it honestly, Alex, like that mention, like that's where Pell really helped offensively off ball. His random cuts, his random off ball screens, little off ball flares and pin downs, where he was just giving an extra element. And they miss him in the lineup. He needs to shoot. When he gets back healthy, he needs to shoot the ball better. But he brings a lot to the table. They need guys like that.
Alex, thank you so much for joining us today. What I told you would be a 30-minute affair.
I knew it wouldn't be.
I wanted it to be because, as you know, pre-show, I have not eaten since 11 a.m. That's not your fault.
It is, though, because you told me.
I ran 4 miles
over here
today.
yapping.
No, I like it. I miss my friends, and I do this because I love hanging out with my friends, and I love our audience, and I have fun. And look, everybody in chat is subscribed. That's what I like to see. Pocket watch, G. As we've been doing this thing, we're pocket watching. Anybody who's not subbed, I call them out.
Oh, man.
We need to do a segment.
Omar, get on it. I see all beautiful Twitch primes and subscriptions in our chat. I love that. It's gorgeous. YouTube, you could step up. Oh my God, Armandin Benitez yesterday.
$10 donation.
Gave a $10 fucking dono as we were leaving. So shout out to him. I just gotta say, Twitch has really stepped up. I've pocket watched Twitch a lot. YouTube, gotta chill. Bronx Joker says sub only chat. See, I'm not that mean. I wouldn't.
Big
do that.
AC said that their wheel is looking like a square wheel lately. It's funny.
Big AC also subscribe with Prime. Shout out to him! Exclamation point Prime in chat if you.
Polterghost saying you're bullying the viewers.
Well, I have to because like we're hemorrhaging money right now, and we gotta keep the lights on. So, I'm aggressive. I'm aggressive when I gotta be. If we want to keep this thing going, we gotta. There we go. Supreme Weave subscribed. 46.
Tyler Navas over here.
Tyler, that's Ollie. That's the assistant producer. He's like, I pay to work on the show. There you go. Shout out to Ollie. Shout out to the audience. Shout out to Alex. Alex, thank you so much for joining. Make sure to check out Alex and all the good folks over at 5 Reasons. Ethan.
Giancarlo over here starving for y'all, man. I hope you appreciate the talent that you got in front of you, man.
I haven't eaten in days.
He's over here doing serious analysis for an hour with a blowhard like me after not eating the entire day and running 4 miles and working like 2 different jobs. Like you're a beast, bro.
For a play-in team.
For a play-in team. I literally was live. I'm a producer. I was producing something for TikTok corporate, and I hopped off the stream and came right here. No breaks.
If G can do this, Tyler can take a fucking charge.
That's what I'm saying. I had some lady from TikTok corporate is like, you have a really nice setup to do content. And I'm like, lady, I've probably done more content than anybody on these webinars. Giancarlo, low calorie Navas. Let me tell you, man. I have like my Apple Watch set to like the most, like the maximum ring. I'm at almost 4,000 calories for the day burned. A 4-mile run. I'm moving, bro.
Nice. Oh, he even showed his work. That's great.
This guy.
I mean, I'm
Polterghost that check the stats on G bullying before Herro and after.
Bronx Joker says, see how that shirt's fitting? He'll be okay. See, look, I couldn't wear this shirt before. I can fit into it now.
Feeling, man.
You know what I mean? I got it. We got to all be healthy. Somebody has to have culture around here. Alex, make sure to check out all his stuff over at SI and 5 Reasons. Shout out to Leif. That's family. Ethan, that's family. Brady, I really like you, not family, but I still really like you.
Oh,
Brady didn't work here, bro. I never worked with Brady. I worked with Ethan.
I feel you.
We need to get a Leif on an episode. It's been
Brady's
a while.
my guy, though. I spend literally like 20 times as much time as I do with him than with Ethan. Like
I was
I'm
gonna
with
say
Brady all the
you might see
time.
Brady more than your girlfriend at this point.
It's right there. Like those are the two people.
It's right.
Neck and neck.
Yeah, we got to have Leif on, so we have the 5 freezing trifecta, and then we got to get Ethan in his busy schedule to come on. Although Ethan
that's
always
not gonna
gives you weird times. Ethan's like, yeah, I can come on at 2:48 on Wednesday. Yeah, I can make that.
Yeah, because he always has a call after.
Yeah, no, he's like, okay, I got a hard 25, and then I have a call with Morgan and Morgan.
Ethan is sick of me. Ethan has done a good job like wrangling me in because I can, as you see, like we're an hour 11 in, and he will always stress before the shows, like I'd say like 15, 20 minutes, and we're out of here. And I know he doesn't directly call me out, but I know it's to me.
I wanted to do that more, but I feel bad because we stream, and I do think that like part of it is hanging out with the audience. And I think, and you guys can correct me, this might not be good for the pod, but it's good for stream. I like when we kind of just shoot the shit and we talk about Andor and things, and like people ask me about like anime and shit, and I like that. It's
love
fun.
it, man.
Huh?
Please bring me back on soon.
I love this. You're welcome anytime. Love you, man. Good friend of mine, family. Franky, love you too. Chat, love you too. They don't have a game until Monday. That's weird. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands. I have so much free time.
Enjoy those days off.
Thank you to everybody. Thank you to my co-host. Free Mohamed Salah. Fire Arnie Slot.